department. If you have an emergency, please hang up and dial 911 immediately. To report a crime or incident, or to have the on-duty supervisor contact you, press 1. For the records section, press 2. For property and evidence, press 3. For criminal investigations, press 4. For administration, press 5. For the office of the chief of police, press 6. To give anonymous information, press 7. 1 moment, please. The call, please.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Fine, thanks.
I'm going to record this call for my records. I have a couple questions. I had an incident last, I believe it was Friday.
Okay.
I went to renew my license at Lake Wales DMV, and I brought everything they asked me for, and they still wouldn't renew my license. So we got into basically a verbal disagreement. No disturbance, really.
Okay.
And the people working there had such an issue with me asking them questions about the Constitution and stuff that they wouldn't call the police. And then an officer came, and I don't know, to me, the way he was acting was not like an officer at all. And I wanted to ask some questions about procedure.
Okay, and what is your question today?
I just want to know, I have several questions if you're willing to answer. I have like, do the police officers always wear like SWAT team uniforms to confront peaceful citizens? That's my first question.
Oh, well, I don't know if I can answer all this. You say it happened Friday. Do you have a case number or anything, or they just came and talked to you at the DMV?
Well, they came and first he accosted me, and then he said to go outside, and I asked him why, and then he just kept giving me this mean face, and I went outside, and he's basically saying they called him there, and I was wondering why they would call him there, because they told me to sit there and wait for my temporary license, and next thing I know, he's over my shoulder.
Okay, I'm going to look on the dispatch screen and see if the dispatch had the call in. When was this, last Friday, the 22nd?
I believe so.
Okay, about what time?
About 2, 3 in the afternoon.
2, I'm sorry?
About 3 in the afternoon, I would say, roughly.
3, okay, I'm going to put you on hold and check that screen. Just a moment.
All right.
Lieutenant Black, may I help you?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good, sir. How are you?
Just so you know, I'm recording this call for my records. I have some questions. I have some questions about procedure, because basically I had a run-in with your officers last Thursday.
What's your name, sir?
My name is John.
John what?
Felix.
I'm sorry?
John Felix.
Can you spell your last name for me, sir, please?
Sure, Filax.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, go ahead.
I went to renew my license earlier that day, and I had everything that I was supposed to have. But the DMV insisted I still didn't have enough, and that they found some discrepancy in Ohio. So I left. Well, I shouldn't say, I didn't just leave. I had words. Nothing. I wasn't raising my voice or nothing. I was just talking. So I left. I went and got. I left. I went and got everything they asked for. I came back. I called Ohio. I paid the extortion fee they were asking me for, and I went back. And now I had everything. Plus, I'd taken care of the discrepancy. And they still wouldn't renew my license. So I went on I just basically told them, this isn't right. I shouldn't even have to pay to be able to travel the roads, etc., etc. So the manager, he said, we don't like the way you're acting. And I said, okay. And he said, I'll issue you a temporary license. And then I asked the girl a question about if she thought what she was doing was right. And then she went and called the police. So the policeman shows up, and he's wearing like a SWAT team outfit, like all black on black on black. And he threatened to arrest me if I were to videotape the encounter with him. And I asked him, and I asked to speak to a supervisor. Now, right off the bat, am I not allowed to document the public official's activity?
Well, you can. It just depends on what was going on, though. I mean,
what was going on? I was sitting there peacefully waiting for my temporary.
I wasn't there. My understanding was you were kind of in the process of
almost being trespassed, if I'm not mistaken. Does that sound correct?
Well, actually,
I wasn't there. That's why I'm asking you.
it depends whose definition of trespass you use. The people at the facility told me to sit there and wait for my temporary license. They had all my paperwork, and I was sitting there peacefully when the officer entered.
Okay.
So he's trying to say that I was being trespassed by him.
Who was saying that, sir?
The officer.
At the driver's license bureau?
The officer. No, the people at the driver's license bureau told me to sit there and wait for my temporary license, which is exactly what I was doing. Very peacefully, very calmly. I wasn't there was no one to even speak to. There was nobody in front of me. And the officer says, and the officer comes in and accosts me and says, "You need to go outside." And I said, "Well, I'm going to record this." And he said, "I'll arrest you if you record me." Now that's a threat on my First Amendment. Do I not have the right to record?
Well, yes, you can record.
Why would I be threatened with arrest?
This is what I wasn't there, so I don't know. And I'm trying to get to the report. If you can give me 1 second.
All right, sir. I mean, what followed after that was just basically 15 minutes of intimidation. That he was talking about his gun. He was talking about his badge. He's telling me what I can and can't do and what behavior is acceptable. So, I mean, he's not going by law. He's going by, it's his opinion, and he's going to tell me what's acceptable behavior. He took legal action on hearsay. What else? He profiled me as a sovereign citizen. Him and the other cop did that. And they basically insinuated that I'm a sovereign citizen and sovereign citizens are cop killers. By the way, all this is on record. I went ahead and videotaped anyway because I knew I had the right to. There's no perception of privacy in public.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. And he didn't arrest you, correct?
Well, they didn't arrest me, but they kept trying to put a chilling effect on my rights. First, by threatening to arrest me for recording. Second, by, I had to sit there and watch what I say because they were both threatening me with arrest and saying that it's their discretion to arrest me. And if he asks me to leave, I can't even ask why because that'll be considered resisting. I mean, he's lying about the law and everything.
Hang on, give me 1 second. I'm trying to read his report.
Sure, go ahead.
told you you did not have his permission to audio record you, and
But I don't. I don't need it.
Actually said, and you said you advised him that you could record any public official, and that's pretty much what he leaves that as. Nothing else there.
But
he does say that you were verbally.
I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Basically, kind of verbally confrontational, never physically confrontational, and said that you were the one that mentioned the part about the sovereign citizens.
That's okay.
Well, he said that he asked you if you were one, I believe.
Yes, and I said no.
And that you informed him of a bunch of different things about sovereign citizens and police officers.
Well,
as far as the government making a violent movement and that kind of stuff.
No. The thing is,
I'm just paraphrasing right now.
Yeah. But he knows that.
It does say you were trespassed from there.
Yes. For what reason, though?
Because they asked you to be trespassed.
Okay, so they don't need a reason. They don't like the way I look. It is a
pretty much. So this is what I tell people. I'll just give you, for instance, like when we arrest somebody from Walmart, okay, for retail theft.
Right. But they've committed a crime. Right. Okay.
But I'm telling you this to explain. So you asked a question. I'm trying to explain it to you.
Okay.
How we tell people. And when they commit the crime, one of the things Walmart will do is trespass them.
Yes.
As well, because they don't want them coming back and committing a crime inside the store.
I understand that.
And people say, well, I've got a shop here, this and that. And I said, well, this is the deal. Walmart can trespass you if they don't like what color socks you're wearing. You don't have to commit a crime. They can trespass you for any reason they want to. They're charged that property. It's their property.
Okay.
And that's the deal. So there does not have to. That's why I told you that. There does not have to be a crime committed to trespass somebody.
Okay, that's fair enough. But that goes for government buildings too, where the public has to access to get service.
Yeah, because there are other tax collector offices. You're only trespassed from that tax collector's office.
Okay. And that would be under their policy as well. Okay, but
you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, that's fine, and that's fine. And if they wanted to trespass me, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, I was sitting there. They had my paperwork. I was peaceful, and the gentleman was issuing me a temporary. Like I told the officers, if they told me we want you to leave, I would have got up and left. They've never told me they wanted me to leave. They told me to sit there and wait, and that's exactly what was happening as when the officer entered.
Sure, and he actually has that in his report for pretty much. I mean, not word for word exactly what you're saying, but that you were there and that you were verbally. What's the word I'm looking for? Not aggressive, but confrontational verbally with him. But when you overheard the tax collector saying that they would like you to leave, that you at that point that's when you did leave and go outside.
When he asked some random lady behind the front desk if she or they wanted me trespassed, she said yeah. She shook her head I guess. So and then I walked outside. So again,
I understand. That's exactly what he said.
Oh.
So this is the deal. A lot of people, what they'll do is if they feel somebody's going to be confrontational or an issue, they'll call us ahead of time before it becomes bad and make sure we're there. And that way, when they give somebody the bad news, they don't have to worry about anybody. Because I mean, I don't know you personally.
Okay, officer.
I'm sure they don't know you from Adam.
Okay, officer, but the problem is, then no one asked me to leave. I would have left. Nobody asked me to leave. They told me to sit there and wait for my temporary license.
No, and I'm not arguing that fact with you one bit.
Okay. That's when your officer see, in my opinion, and of course this is my opinion, if that officer came in and saw that I was totally peaceful, shouldn't he question the call to the police versus me? Or brought them over and said, "What's going on?" Because I was not causing a commotion.
Okay, well let's spin it a little bit.
Sure.
You call police to your house because somebody's on your property that you didn't have a problem with being there, but then all of a sudden they start acting the way you don't like them to act, and you want them to leave. But you don't know if they're armed or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you call the police. So we come to your house, and you've told the dispatcher, look, we don't want this person here. Okay? So when we show up, the first thing we're going to do is probably make contact with the person that's there that's trespassing.
Yeah.
And try to make sure the scene is safe before we go talk to the victim and find out anything further.
But how would he know how would he know he's trespassing if he's never told?
I don't understand your question.
You're saying you're going to remove the subject based on a phone call. So it sounds like whoever calls first is going to get what they want. What if I were to call the police?
No, that's why I put you at your house. They're at their place of business, so they call us.
Right.
Okay? So...
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? If you're at your house and you call us, we're going to assume that...
I mean, the big issue...
Until we can get further into the investigation, we're going to assume that what you're telling us is true and what you want done, and when we get there, we have to do to be safe. And then as we get deeper into the investigation, then we'll find out what's going on. And that's, to me, from what you're telling me and from what I read in the report, which it's not word for word, but all the context is there the same, that's exactly what they did.
Okay, did he write in his report that he threatened to arrest me if I recorded him?
No, sir. He said that you didn't have his permission to record him. That's what he said.
He said I don't have his permission, and if I record him, he's going to arrest me. So he threatened to arrest me for that. As far as the trespassing thing, they want me trespassed. That's fine. They don't like me talking about freedom and the Constitution. That's fine. I understand that people don't take too well to freedom. I don't understand why. But now, again, this gentleman swore an oath to the Constitution. He's supposed to protect my rights. And when I go to exercise one of my rights, he threatens to lock me in a cage.
Okay.
And then
Did he arrest you?
He did not arrest me, sir, but the whole 15-minute encounter, him and his partner, or whoever the other officer was, he was bringing up his gun. And when a guy with a gun comes up to you, you better listen. And he's dressed on black. The other officer says he's using discretion by not arresting me. So this whole time I'm thinking they're going to lock me in a cage. And I'm watching what I say, and I'm scared to exercise my rights.
I'll be honest with you. When he asked you to step outside and you wouldn't step outside, and he's in the middle of conducting an investigation, he could have arrested you then.
Sir, but am I not allowed to ask why he wants me to go outside? Or
sure, you can ask why, but you need to be doing it while he's asking you.
Sir, I was walking out. I had this all on video. From the time he contacted me to the time I was outside, it was about 30 seconds. I mean, what am I supposed to jump and run outside because he has a gun, like he said? And if I jumped and ran outside, he probably would have shot me in the back.
I can tell by your tone of voice with me. And I've actually, I talked with one of the other officers that were actually there the other day.
Yeah.
And just your tone of voice makes a whole difference in the whole conversation. And from what you've told me and from what he's told me, I'll be honest with you, we take it, in our job, we have to look at everybody like they want to hurt us until we can prove otherwise. And we may not show that, but that's what's always in the back of our mind.
That's fine.
And that's what we use to try to keep ourselves alive in the job that we do, because not everybody, likes what we do. And
I understand that, sir. But if you're violating your oath, the people have the right to be upset about it.
Okay, but how did we violate our oath that day?
When you threaten to arrest somebody and lock them in a cage for using their constitutional right, freedom of press, I shouldn't be upset about that. That's like if I'm not mistaken.
This is the deal, though. Okay, for you to record something, that may mean you have to put your hand in your pocket or something like that. Okay. Correct?
No.
Depending on whatever your device is that you're using.
Not this time. Not this time. My phone was...
I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just...
Well, my phone was clearly visible.
And, I'm not God. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Okay, but my phone was clearly visible.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you? He's trying to talk to you to conduct an investigation.
Okay.
You are, whatever your thought process was, is you're wanting to record it.
Accountability.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
If you are trying to interfere with that investigation by using that as the ploy to interfere, then we have issues.
Okay, but that's not the case, sir, at all.
And I didn't say it was.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not accusing you of anything.
I understand both
What I'm trying
sides.
to do is you've got to put yourself into our shoes when we're in the middle of trying to deal with a call. We don't know who we're dealing with.
Right.
Okay? And just like I explained to you, when we come to your house, until we've got that situation under control, we know it's safe. It's a safe scene.
So there's nothing.
Okay,
there's nothing I want more than peace and accountability. I'm as peaceful as they come, and that's another thing. They profiled me as some kind of cop killer. That's really upsetting. That's defaming almost. Police kill people too, all the time.
But there's a little bit of a difference there.
No, there isn't.
A huge difference.
No, well, actually, the difference is police kill far more people than any sovereign citizen movement ever has. That's the difference, and they've done it against the law, not with the law. I mean, if we're going to talk about facts, let's talk about facts. So for them to label me a cop killer because 2 sovereign citizens killed some cops on the side of the road, I mean, I didn't do that. I wasn't doing that. I was very peaceful, and I'm allowed to ask why I'm being asked to do something against my will. And I was very peaceful. I never raised a commotion. Never.
Okay. Well, that's your version.
It's on tape. It's on record.
And I'm not going to get into you with all the other stuff. Obviously, you say you're not a sovereign citizen. Some of your tendencies do lean to the sovereign citizen. Now, I agree. Not all sovereign citizens are cop killers.
Not even close.
I understand that, and I'm not saying you are a sovereign citizen, but
well, they were convinced.
Idealization does lean toward that.
They were convinced that I was a sovereign citizen, and regardless, even if I was, to group millions of people and and consider them cop killers is intellectually dishonest.
Well, I don't think they did that.
They absolutely, sir, I have it on record. They absolutely did that.
Okay, all right.
I mean, the bottom line is I don't want to keep progressing this forward. I just want you to know that the officer's saying that I needed to change my attitude when in fact he accosted a peaceful person doing nothing.
Well, sir, he was in the middle of doing his job.
Okay.
Because he was called by a business owner, and he got a little bit of flack from you.
Very little.
Well, enough to put him on defense.
That's a great.
To do his job and be safe doing his job.
Okay, he was never in danger, sir.
Well, sir, I greatly appreciate that, but we don't know that.
I know.
Until the situation is done and over with.
Okay. Oh.
That's. It's just like aggressive driving, road rage, if you want to say. Okay? You accidentally cut somebody off, or somebody accidentally cuts you off. Somebody gives somebody else the finger.
Yeah.
Okay? Nowadays, you don't know if that finger is going to lead to a shooting, or if that's going to be the end of it. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
I mean, you watch the news every day, too, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
I try not to watch the news, but I mean, stupid stuff, crazy stuff happens all the time.
That's why I act the way I do.
We don't. Huh?
I said because of the events and the current events, and a lot of it is it's from both sides. You can't say that the police are innocent of everything because that's surely not the case.
I'll agree with you, but just like we don't like being put into a box, like you don't like being put into a box.
Exactly.
Like you just told me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because those officers that do that are few and far between.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I understand exactly what you're saying about yourself. I understand.
The only reason I would even mention that is because they use that mentality against me. That I'm a potential cop killer. That couldn't be further from the truth.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate that, but I just wanted you to know that we don't have the luxury of knowing your mental state or your beliefs.
Okay.
Or anybody's out there. I'm just saying you because you're the one calling me. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have that luxury of knowing that. If we did, there wouldn't be officers killed, all the time every year.
Vice versa.
But right, sure.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to put us into a box like that, sure.
Well, it works both ways. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Well, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. So, but just like it works both ways, it works both ways as far as percentages go as well.
Now, will I be labeled or listed on some kind of list of sovereign citizens or something?
No, sir. Nope.
Oh, I have another question.
You said you're not one.
Now, do I have to give him my ID? I didn't consent to him having my ID, and he went and took it anyway.
Sure, he's in the middle of an investigation.
Okay, so because he's basically investigating me, he can take my ID.
He has to prove who you are.
Okay. Even if I didn't commit any crimes or nothing.
Huh?
Even if I didn't commit, or there's no reasonable suspicion that I've been committing a crime.
Well, you were being trespassed. So to be trespassed, we have to prove who you are to be trespassed.
All right.
And we have to confirm your identity to do that.
Can you tell me that officer's name, please?
Let me give you this instance. Let's say you have a twin brother.
All right.
No, let's not even say a twin brother. Let's say you have a close friend, and he knows your name and date of birth. Okay?
I hear you.
And he was the one at the tax collector's office, not you.
Okay.
Okay?
That's fair.
And okay? And he gives your name. Well, you go back in there one day to get it, and they're like, wait, this name sounds familiar.
Yeah, and I'm being arrested.
Okay? And now you're being arrested, and you were never even there the first time. That's why we have to get IDs to confirm who people are.
If he was investigating me, then yeah, he has the right to get my ID. Well, can you tell me what his name was? I have it on the video, but it's like inaudible.
Which officer? The tall one or the short one?
Well, I'll take the short one first.
Okay, that was Officer Landry.
Okay, Landry. And the other one?
I think it was he a tall, bald-headed fella?
There was 3 there, but only 2 talked to me. I don't think he was bald. He's around my age, mid-30s maybe.
I only know of 2 that were there, sir. Hang on one second. Let me see if I see something else here, though. Was that yesterday? What time was it? No, that was... John, was that yesterday that this occurred?
No, it was Thursday, I believe.
Last Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, hang on one second. Okay, here's what I was looking for. Give me one second.
Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem, sir.
Okay, yeah, the only one shown is the one that I was
Okay, what was
that
it?
I was thinking of, and it was Officer Johnson. Common spelling.
Okay. What else? I mean, I appreciate you talking to me, sir. I was thinking about calling a civil rights attorney, but since you're such a nice guy and you're willing to answer my questions, I mean, the only thing I would request is tell Officer Landry that, threatening people for exercising their constitutional rights isn't right, and trying to use intimidation tactics.
If everything was kosher, I agree with that, and I appreciate you taking your time and understanding, listening. But just remember, when you have to do something like that, if the officer's already on edge, he doesn't know what you're going to do. I mean, we've actually had a bulletin, and I don't want you to think I'm making this up, but we've actually had a bulletin come out, and it just was sent out recently in our email system again, where people have made firearms out of cell phones. Okay?
I've seen that.
And you have seen something like that?
Well,
and
yeah.
So when you have to record somebody, if you've got something in your hand, we don't know if it's truly a phone or where you can record, or if it's a weapon.
But okay.
And that would be, that kind of stuff is always in the back of our mind. It's not that we don't want you exercising your constitutional rights. You're exactly right. That's what we're here to defend and uphold.
Yes.
And to protect.
Okay.
But we're also here to protect our safety, your safety,
That's fine.
everybody else's safety.
That's fine.
And he doesn't have the time to explain that to you right then and there. He just needs cooperation.
With all due respect, sir, he could check to make sure my phone's not a gun, and then say, okay.
Sure, he could, but then he's taking his, it's all time, and it's all flowing. Okay, it's
Okay.
Until you've been in our shoes, and I don't even know what you do for a living, so I can't even compare it. I couldn't compare it.
I own a restaurant. I own a restaurant in Babson Park, and the police are some of my best customers. They all get free drinks. All the firefighters, all the civil servants get free drinks on me for the past 10 years. I mean,
Gotcha.
I'm not an enemy of the police by any stretch. It's just I'm a fanatic when it comes to the Constitution. You want to call me a sovereign citizen, whatever. I mean, I'm a fan of what you guys are swore an oath to. So you should, in my opinion, you should be on my side. And
definitely, and we appreciate that. No doubt whatsoever. It's just when we walk into a situation, I'm glad you if you had called us for somebody at your business. I'll give you a perfect example of something that happened to me as a police officer years ago when I was working the road.
Sure.
And it involved a restaurant. It involved IHOP, a matter of fact. We got a call to a guy that needed to be removed from IHOP. Okay. And I get there, and it's an older fella. He's, and I hate to say even older because I'm 40 years old right now, and I think 60 is young. But I'd say, I'd say he was right about 60 years of age. Mid 50s to mid 60s, somewhere in that age range. And he was sitting peacefully at a booth in IHOP.
Right.
And they're like, "That's him right there."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Okay." They said he's been making comments, rude comments to women walking by. He's not ordered anything. He's just been drinking water, and he's been here for like 3 hours.
Did they ask him to leave?
I'm like, yes, they had actually asked him to leave.
Okay.
Okay. Which that part is a little bit different than yours.
Exactly.
Okay? But his demeanor was like what you're telling me your demeanor was when they first initially walked in, sitting there peacefully.
Yes.
Okay. So I go up to him. I said, "Sir, you need to leave."
Okay.
He goes, "I'm finishing my water or coffee." Maybe he did buy coffee. But,
Yeah.
he's finishing whatever he was drinking. Okay?
Yes.
I'm finishing what I'm drinking. I said, "No, sir, you're not." going to leave right now.
Okay.
And, no, I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? So I had a peaceful.
But
he was not violent. I'm sorry. He was peaceful.
Yes.
He was just sitting there peacefully. He wasn't
Yes.
violent. But when I gave him a direct order, there was no need for anybody else there again to tell him he had to leave.
Right.
Well, I ended up taking him out of the booth and wrestling him outside, and ended up having to take him to jail.
I understand that, but that's totally different from my situation.
What I'm trying to say is the circumstances, other than them not asking you to leave, them asking you to sit there, were pretty much the same as far as walking into a peaceful situation.
Except for they didn't tell me to leave.
Mine turned, mine went from verbal to physical. The officer dealing with you just went from verbal and it just maintained verbal.
The thing is, sir, with all due respect, I didn't tell the guy I wouldn't leave. I just asked why. If he said they want you to leave, I would have left. And as a matter of fact,
you said when you overheard the person tell you wanted to leave, that's when you got up and went out peacefully. I mean, he's got that in the report.
The whole situation was peaceful. I was never told to leave. He told me to go outside, and I asked why. And I said, you're scaring me, because he's got like SWAT gear on, and
well, he's actually one of our canine officers. That's the way our canine officers dress. Because
okay.
If we put them in uniforms like what we wear, like you see regular patrol guys wear, we'd be putting them in new uniforms every day, and our budgets can't take that.
That's
because
fine.
of the polyester catches and rips. That's why they're in the uniform.
That's fine, sir. And when all I did, I never said I wasn't leaving. I never said I'm going to get my license first and then I'll leave. I never said anything like that. I just asked why. Okay. And I asked why, and if he said they want you to leave, I would have left.
Okay, let me kind of give you a little bit of information as to what they're going into.
Okay.
This is what the officers had before they ever even met you.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
They said that you were causing a disturbance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what dispatch has given them. Okay.
All right.
And you were ranting and raving about religious freedom.
That's false.
And that you're being ugly to the workers in the office.
Is that illegal?
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's illegal. What I'm trying to tell you is when we get stuff like that, okay, if you were to call as a business owner from your restaurant, and you were here in Babson Park, so it'd be the sheriff's office, okay, but the same people, these are the same dispatchers who gave us this information, okay, it's the sheriff's office dispatch. When we get that, if you were to call us and say that information, when we came in there, we wouldn't bother talking to you at all, other than you to point out the person who it was, and already they had a description of what you looked like, so they didn't even have to ask who you were.
Okay.
We would go right to that person and say, hey, why don't you step out here and talk to me outside? There's several reasons we do that. One is because you're like any other business owner. You don't want issues inside your restaurant, which would push other customers away.
Right.
Right? I mean, if somebody's sitting down in your restaurant having a meal, you don't want them to see an argument or a disturbance or anything like that, I would think. And that's why the officers ask people to step outside. That way, not only are you moving the issue outside or the potential issue outside, I don't know about you, but I don't want everybody knowing my personal business.
I had no problem going outside. All I did was ask why.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, he was.
When they get the why with the other information, you got to understand it's a building thing.
All right.
Okay?
Well.
They get all this. Do you have kids?
Nah, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
That's what I was telling the DMV workers. Do you guys have children? When you got to prove, listen, I've been doing business in Babson Park and Frostbury for the past 10 years. The police know me. I'm as peaceful as they come. I'm John who owns Jack's Diner in Babson Park. Now, why I have to go there and provide them with so many forms of ID and jump through so many rings just so I can have my license? You know, in the future, like you're asking me if I have kids. In the future, your kids they're gonna be denied the right to travel because of credit. It just keeps progressing and progressing and progressing. They're not gonna stop. It's not gonna go backwards.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I ain't trying to be funny, but I feel your pain when it comes to getting a driver's license. My wife just had to go through all that mess, and
it's ridiculous.
It is. It's a joke.
It's beyond a joke. It's a command and control situation, and in the future you're going to see that they're not going to let certain people that are on lists that have bad credit. They're not going to let them travel the roads that they pay for. And this is all I was saying to the DMV, and it got them so upset. The thought of freedom got them so upset that they called the police.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it happened. You encouraged me not to go any further with this. I got one last question. Would be, I was allowed to record what was happening, and I can't publish it if I want to. Correct?
You can. I mean, we be honest with you, we appreciate it if you don't. We try to keep even our own officers from publishing stuff out on the web.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't stop you from doing that. No.
Okay, I won't be retaliated against or nothing.
No.
Okay.
No. We're not allowed to do that.
Oh,
you're asking. I would ask you. We appreciate it if you didn't, but if you want to, you're welcome to. I can't stop you from doing that. Not at all.
For me not to publish it, Officer Landry would have to get in contact with me, and we could talk this out. Otherwise, I'm going to put it up on the internet. I basically do a little news channel and website anyway, so this is part of reporting. This is part of the First Amendment, and it's part of freedom of press.
Okay.
So you can give him my cell phone number if you want. If he wants to call me and dissuade me from putting this up on the internet, he can. Otherwise, it's probably going to go up. And I don't mean it as any disrespect to anybody. I just want to show, because right now I'm the cop killing sovereign citizen, and I want to show what the real situation is.
Okay.
All right, sir.
But you understood everything I explained to you.
I absolutely understand it. I just still think he was way too aggressive and overzealous. And talking about his gun and labeling me as a cop killer, all that stuff is way out of line. Threatening to put me in a cage for exercising my rights. It's just he went way too far, in my opinion.
Okay. Would you be willing to send it to me? Would you be willing to email it to me? Once you record it?
Anything I do with the recording is going to be published for the public first, and then you can access it that way.
Okay. No problem.
All right. I really appreciate you talking to me. This is more like how a police encounter should be. You did a fine job, and if you could just tell them to ease up a little bit, because the constant threats and intimidation, that stuff doesn't fly. Once I'm out of that situation, now I have recourse. So,
Okay.
You help me, I won't do nothing other than publish. And I appreciate your time very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So there you go. What a difference from one cop to the other. See, that guy understood both sides of the situation, just like I understand both sides of the situation. So he doesn't want me to publish it to YouTube, but I'm probably going to anyway, so we'll see what happens. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.